a very good morning and welcome to Smart Minutes Business. My name is Masikatsimi and today is Friday, the 3rd of November 2023, just 5 minutes past 7 a.m. here, taking you all the way till 9:55. And of course, we're always glad, I'm always glad actually to be here, a part of you. And of course, just in case you just tuned in, this is Smart24 TV and you're watching the Breakfast Morning Show where we drive business here, giving you information regarding business, anything related to business, entertainment, sports. I mean, we have a full package here for you on Smart Minutes Business every morning from 7 a.m. till 9:55 a.m. And of course, we always have interesting topics that we can learn and share about. So you can reach out to us on our social media platforms and you can, give us a thing or two that you would want us to discuss on. Well, of course, conversations here in on Smart Minutes Business are powered by Zabo. So if you want to invest in bonds and securities, Zabo says all you need to do is invest with it. You need your mobile phone and your NIN number. Just in case you haven't got your national ID, please go and get it so that you can start dealing with Zabo. Well, get your mobile phone and dial *292#. And for the prompts, that is your SST code. You can learn about the products. You can go straight to the bonds, or they have a maturity periods that you can actually do learn from and probably choose according to your future. Well, they're operational from Monday to Friday, except for public holidays and weekends. So I don't expect Zabo to be operational tomorrow, being a Saturday and Sunday, but opening time is 8:15 a.m. till 3:15 p.m., 6 working hours. So within that period, please do invest with Zabo. Zabo says my money, my future, and no tax East Africa. Here's what you do, something new. It is the new month of November. Well, my mind is still stuck in October. I don't know why. But then anyway, today we're having an interesting topic. Yeah, we recently we had a bid actually, which we managed to win for us hosting the African Cup of Nations, and very many countries actually had their bids in, but for the start. Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania actually placed in their bid, and we were nominated. So definitely we're going to be hosting the African Cup of Nations 2027, just 3 years, maximum 3 years to go. So we want to know these conversations today. We want to know how prepared are we for 2027. How is this going to be impactful to us as the East African bloc, as individual countries at the end of the day. And of course, here in this beautiful report, the 2027 Cup of Nations will jointly be hosted by Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, while Morocco will stage the 2025 edition. And of course, that was according to that report. Now, of course, Morocco hosted, in the Kenya, Uganda, Tanzanian bid then got the nod from the CAF Executive Committee, taking the Biano tournament back to East Africa for the first time since Ethiopia staged it in 1976. So it's going to be the first time AFCON tournament. The tournament is taking place in East Africa. So we are privileged as East Africa. We are privileged as Uganda because we're going to be hosting. We're going to be having training grounds for some of the players, some of the teams. So definitely, and of course, work in progress is taking place when it comes to stadiums. They're planning on renovating some stadiums, planning on setting up some stadiums. Of course, cash money was given out, and it's gonna be accountable. So when you get to the bank, you get the money, you account for it. If you've built a stadium, you have to account for what item you used. There's no wastage. There's no definitely wastage. But of course, it's going to be a good opportunity for us, and of course for even it's when a country is hosting AFCON, it presents very many opportunities for that country. First of all, in line of tourism, Because I mean, people are gonna come in, they're gonna be, you're not gonna come in and be like, I'm going to watch soccer. At the end of the day, you have to walk around, see the different places. So it's gonna, I feel it's gonna have an impact, a positive impact on our tourism industry here. And of course, here today in our morning call, we want to focus on the impact, economic impact of the AFCON on the former hosts, and of course, having hosted in 2019, Egypt hosted AFCON in 2019, and of course the economic impact of Egypt was is 13.2 billion, approximately to 780 million US dollars, and of course and of course that is what they lost. That is what they will lose out just in case. And then also tournament led to creation of 50,000 new jobs. So that is one of the opportunities that could avail to us, just that we are going to be hosting the AFCON, creation of jobs, people gonna construct, then there are many events that are going to take place. Even the business community, people want to test our delicacy, the chapati, the Rolex. They want to test our roasted meats. They want to test our bushera. So there's going to be a lot in the business community. Now, in 2010, South Africa also managed to host the African Cup of Nations. And of course, this is what they got actually out of this shortest period, and of course they cashed out approximately to 1.3 billion US dollars, and of course in their runs is 12.9 billion. So that means they actually cashed out a lot. They benefited a lot from the AFCON 2010, and of course it also led to 135,000 jobs. So where there's an opportunity for football, there are also jobs. Now, of course, Nigeria also managed to host the AFCON, that is in 2013, and of course, it carried out, got its GDP rose to 220 million US dollars, and of course, that is 35.6 billion naira out of out of this AFCON that was held in 2013. And of course, the tournament also led to 20,000 new jobs. So if you're out there and you're wondering how this is going to impact you as a business person, as a youth, you have to be strategic enough. 27, start from now. What you're going to be bringing on table come 2027. But anyway, we're going to be having experts today, and they're going to be sharing with us how ready we are as Uganda, or maybe East Africa, now that it's going to be a joint effort. Some of the teams are going to be playing in Kenya, some of teams are going to be in Tanzania, some in Uganda. So, but Tanzania actually has one of the best stadiums in East Africa. So I believe most of the opening event was going to be in Tanzania. So definitely, if that is it, it's going to present a huge opportunity to the rest of the world to know us. It will not only introduce Africans, it's going to have, because I mean, the people who support Mo Salah, the people who support African football players who play for the Premier League or the Premier Leagues and all those leagues in the Western continent. So definitely that is the opportunities in tourism, in tourism, economic development, and of course job creation for our citizens here in Uganda and East Africa. Well, of course, it's 14 minutes past 7 a.m. and of course today we're going to be discussing AFCON. Football today is dedicated for football, but anyway, let's get to see what is happening into the press. I know yesterday had a lot of events, and of course many tragedies happened along that way. Well, with me, I have the new vision, and of course, we're joined with Andrew Barija. He's going to be taking us through the Daily Monitor. And of course, school director jailed for blocking all-level candidates. Well, of course, director risks spending 5 years in prison. That is on page 7. So if you want interested in the story, how the director was jailed for blocking all-level students, you're going to get yourself a copy of the new vision. And of course, Ireland gives Uganda 400 billion Ugandan shillings grant. 400 billion Ugandan shillings grant. Page 11, more details here when you grab yourself a copy of the new vision. And of course, President Museveni commissioning 2 beverage plants. Of course, the Iris International Limited board was there, and of course they were commissioning these beverages. So plants, so definitely a lot is here for us to learn in the new vision.
All right, now as we check out here the Daily Monitor, this is something here to do with a wanted Chinese investor actually flies out regarding that matter. Now, it's not clear why Chen Chao, that is from Rwanda, sold to, that is to extradite from Uganda. According to the look of things here, that is in matters to do on forgery and tax evasion charges, which was released despite a warrant for his arrest being outstanding and known to Ugandan authorities. That is also key. And also Uganda Cranes to get a new coach here, taking a look down and seeing something here, over 100,000 opportunities at universities in here, and yeah, many more of that into today's Daily Monitor on this Friday edition. And of course, I see something in here. It matters to do with focusing on quality content to get airplay. Of course, broadcasters tell artists that they should actually focus on quality and in order to have that airplay. But also talking about airplay, there is what we call the replay value of your craft. You know, what is that? What are the chances that it's going to have a rotation on the play right there? Yes, and as we go further here, victims, further questions, incident reports. Now, this is matters to do with a school fire in Kalungu. So you can grab yourself a copy of the Daily Monitor and get to find out more of that. And of course, a school director remanded over UNEB examinations. What really went wrong? Grab yourself this copy and you'll be able to actually tell what exactly went down.
Well, in the story of Ireland having given a grant of 400 billion to Uganda, and now of course they committed 100 million euros, about 401 billion, to support Uganda's development needs over the next 5 years. Well, I want to see this money accounted for. This is a lot of billions. I know, I'm very sure, just there's going to be a distribution of only 1 billion or 10 billion at the end of the day with this 400 billion. I mean, I want to see accountability for this money, because this is a lot of money. 400 billion.
Yeah, that is quite a huge amount of money.
It can do a lot of things.
Yeah, and the fact that we in the joint beach host the AFCON.
And of course, it's going to be funding really mostly Karamoja. You know, Karamoja is in a very bad state. I want to see development in Karamoja after this grant.
We need more funds for AFCON too. I mean, I feel like it's a huge priority. Anyway.
Yeah, it is. For AFCON, actually, they are funded, but it's going to be accountable. You get the money, you account. I'm going to build, I'm going to get these materials and set up accountability. No money should go in vain. Well, of course, right about now we're into the traffic update. As you can see, today being a Friday. Yep, those that are coming in from that's Kira Road, the junction. Ntinda-Bukoto Road.
Those
are coming in from that side, Ntinda-Bukoto. Yeah.
So it's quite a little bit, as you can see, it's a Friday and people definitely traveling, and probably people have had anticipations of, yesterday we had heavy rains, a little bit in the night, falling in through all the day, and because in most cases this place is normally really congested, so maybe and there was some huge congestion in some parts of the country, most especially within the city center. and that explains why probably some people may not have been in position to get up very early this morning to report to work. So you can really see huge laps actually coming. Personally, I didn't really face a lot of jam, and probably it could be because of the situation yesterday. Yeah, so it was a blessing in disguise for the people that really have activities very early in the morning. So you can really see the Tinda Mkoto route. So if you're coming in from those areas, you're coming in from Tinda, you're connecting to the city center, well, chances are very high that you will reach in time this morning. Probably you never know what's going to happen if people are likely to frequent the road on the later hours of the day. So we could anticipate towards 8:30, 9 a.m. So you gotta be in position to get out of your house right now and get into that destination that you're planning to get into if you're to be effective when it comes to arrival at any destination earlier. So that is how it is really standing out like. Now, I guess this also would apply for the same people that are coming in from the city center. You're coming in from town and you're probably heading towards, you're coming to Ntinda, I mean, you know, or you're heading to Bukoto, or you're continuing to Kisasi. Well, it's quite still free for you.
I know people
to
that go that side usually lesser. Because people have few people have offices on that side. Mostly those are usually residential areas.
Actually, they are residential, but also they are workplaces. Honestly, okay, because
they are workplaces, but minimal.
Because it's like a town in itself. Because as you proceed there, you head to the junction, to the stretcher in Tinda. There is a whole lot of buildings in there. It's more like a city. You know, we have quite huge, renowned franchises of shops which are in there, like up to shoppers. We can have it here in the city. It's in Tinda too, so that means it's a real urban center setup. So some people can really head there to work. Okay, that's the beauty about these places. Unlike city center where it is strictly business, you know, areas like and Nakasero, whereby it's, corporate companies have their offices in there. It's entirely 70% business related. But this is more, Ntinda is a place that is 50-50. I feel like there are many people that stay in there for residential, and there are still hundreds of thousands of people that wake up every morning and they're heading to Ntinda to work. You know, some proceed over, connecting to those other areas. Anyway, that's the beauty about these places. But surprisingly, they are not so heavily congested. I don't know how they really balance. There is already balanced the jam in those areas. Yet you find areas which are purely residential, like Wise, Kalere. They're entirely. There is huge jam, congestion, yet it's only a residential area. What if it was, there are people that do businesses there. I think it also
zeroes down to affordability of the place.
I think it's more of the planning, how they plan the infrastructure, people in there. It correlates, because there is a little bit of organization when planning accommodation, unlike in those other areas where there is sort of fragmented settlements, which are not even clearly stipulated when it comes to planning, effective planning, architecture-wise. So that can, I think, explain that. Now, that's the Lugogo bypass. And for the people that are coming in from Tinda Mkoto, you can, and you're probably even heading to Nakawa. No, actually, you can still go through the Lugogo bypass, link up to the junction in there, where there was former ShopRite, and you can be in position to branch off to Ginger Road and head straight to city center without having any disruption in some sort of a way. So I would really urge you to do that. Same applies to those that are coming to Tinda Mkoto. You can still use the Lugogo bypass to link you straight if you don't want to go via Wandega, Kamocha, then link up to Malago roundabout, which is also likely to be congested. So that would be really something okay for you. Yeah, that is it for the traffic updates this morning. It's quite mild, not really congested, most especially for the residents of those areas, as we've mentioned. But of course, still to remind you, today is Friday, and it's the last day the Markets on the Zabo platform are going to be operating for this week. So all these discussions in the show are probably brought to you by Zabo. This is a platform from Maltex through which you can buy bonds and securities for a fee of just 15,000 Ugandan shillings. Now, as I speak right now, the markets just a few hours left for them to be operational. Star292# is simply the USSD code, and with this code, you can be in position to buy bonds and securities for just 15,000 Ugandan shillings. At 8:59 AM, that's when exactly the markets are going to open and run all the way to 15 p.m. East African time, and this is effective Monday up to Friday, except on the weekends and the public holidays when these markets cannot be accessed. Like tomorrow, they won't be on. Yeah, so but at least you have Monday up to Friday for you to be a part of these markets and capitalize on them and earn some good income for yourself. Zabu tells you that it's my money, it's my future, and Alltax East Africa tells you that you need to do something new for yourself. It is 2023. Well, SMB takes a short break for now, but when we return, I'll be returning with Masika as we take you through what is happening across the East African community, the East African region, and the international globe at the same time.